So here's one. I've drawn this before, but I wanted to try drawing it upside down. Last time I drew it, it didn't quite look right. I mean, it looked okay, but it didn't look very much like the original. And I think it was because the angle of the face was wrong. So I decided to draw this one upside down as well. So this is new for me, drawing this one upside down. And I'm laying out all the parts of the face. Now, drawing upside down it's not as easy as it may sound, which is, it's not easy anyway, but it's like the whole time you're drawing it, it's like being in a car with a seatbelt light going on. The seatbelt warning. Going ding, ding, ding. Turn your drawing around. It's upside down. So if you can ignore that, you can draw upside down. So that's what I'm doing. I'm drawing this face upside down, and I think I'm getting the angles better. I think it helps when I'm doing this is because I get a fresh perspective. I get to see what is there more than what I think is there, because it's not the familiar perspective of it being right side up, where I'm going to add things to it or change it to make it look more like what I think it should look like rather than what it really does look like. So I'm going to draw as much of this as I can upside down. And I think it looks like the angles are better this time. The angle of the face is better, so it's looking good so far. I'm pretty amazed. It's coming along quicker now. I did speed up the video because it's painful to watch somebody draw really slow, and there's nothing I can really tell you of what to put in first. I will say I think you need to put in the eyes first, but on this one I kind of try to gauge where the face is first, and then I'm going with the eyes, nose, and mouth. You want to get those in there as soon as you can. Try to get them on the right angle. Now I put that eye in, and then I'm like, I already fell into that pitfall one time before. That eye that's closest to us on my left side upside down is wrong. I'll have to change that. I can see that it has to go over further, away from the nose. So I have to change that in a minute. I don't know if I already done it or not. And hair. I really don't think I drew the hair right. But I know I can draw hair, so if I want to do another one, I could. And I think I'd get even better. And I'll try to draw the hair better. The picture is so dark. Now this is from DaVinci's famous painting, The Virgin of the Rocks, and this is the angel. This is just the face of it. So I think that's what I wanted to try to do. It's just the facial features, and this is my demo. So I want you to try to draw the facial features of this, because this is one of his most famous paintings, and this figure right here is really nicely done. And I think you can learn a lot by drawing this 3/4 portrait of this person. I believe he's done this 2 different ways, and this is the more intricate one, the harder one to draw. Everything's at an angle. She's kind of looking up. Now I didn't do the hair a whole lot of justice, but I think I got the facial features better this time. And you'll have to just go in there and shade and put in the lightest lights and darkest darks, and all you got is, here's your limitations, all you have is copy paper and a number 2 pencil. So with those limitations, you have to try to make that go, oh, look at that, I just turned it over. I think that looks a lot better. So, you know, I mean, right there. Now, the chin's not quite right. And I found out the eye's not quite right. So I got to work on that eye a little bit more. But look at all that I did when it was upside down. I think the technique kind of works. It works for me. I could just quit right here pretty soon and say, I'm done. I have a whole stack of pencils over there, and so if one dies out, I just grab another one. I use just really cheap number 2 pencils with soft erasers, and that's what my students probably have at home. So that's why I use this type of pencil. I'm working on the nose. You know, that's not bad. I think it pretty much looks like it. Now when I'm drawing it right side up, I start making it not look like it. So I think right now it looks more like it than later. I probably should do the whole thing upside down. If I draw it again, I'll draw the whole thing upside down and never turn it right side up. Not till the very end. I'll get all the curls in there too. I didn't even worry about the curls. I probably should have put them in upside down as well. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad to draw right side up. It's coming along. It's good for putting in values. But maybe not putting in, for me, where particular parts go. Although that's not bad. It's not this is one of my better drawings. And that's what I want to get across to you, is the more you practice, the better they're going to get. Okay, so just know that you just have to practice that drawing in order for it to get better. There's no magic to it. It's just, I think I've drawn this girl like 6 times or more. Her face. And some of them were just disasters. I kept one and the angle is just totally off and it doesn't look anything like her. So I kept it around just to remind me that I need to redo this one. So I'm really never terribly happy with anything I'm drawing. Now if you're looking for me to tell you where to draw and what to draw and when to draw this and after you draw this other thing, I don't think you can do that with a real complex drawing. I think you just have to watch and see how much effort someone else has put into it and then do something similar. I draw all over the place, so if it works for you, you can do that too. I turned up drawing round and round. See, I think it's not looking as much like her as it did before I turned it around. I'll probably draw her again upside down, but I'm just not going to do it real quick. I mean, right off. There's so many drawings of famous artworks throughout history I want to draw. I drew the girl with the pearl earring not long ago, and although the angle of the face is off, it doesn't look terrible. I mean, I'll probably draw it again too. But all these demos are for you to follow, and I want you to practice drawing like the old masters, because if you can learn to draw like them, then you'll know how to draw really well, because they learned from drawing. Like if you take Da Vinci, he learned by drawing and studying ancient Greek art and Roman art, or Botticelli, or Donatello. And then the other Ninja Turtles, they pretty much copied Leonardo da Vinci. Michelangelo did, and so did Raphael. They copied his style. These younger ones, and then those that followed them copied the styles of Michelangelo and Raphael, and of course Leonardo. But art is derivative of other art that came before it, I think. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you learn that way, how to draw better. Some people say, well, you know, it should be all unique, and like Picasso. Well, Picasso learned to draw in a classical sense before he was making abstract and cubist art. So I think it's good to learn how to, I think it's really good to learn how to do classical drawing. I believe it, before you can even paint, it's good to know how to draw well. So it's coming along. Does it look just like it? No, I think the chin and the neck are off. But that's alright, I'll just do another one. Each one I do will get better. But this one's not bad. So I want you to try to draw this one. Try to draw it again, or if maybe this is your first time drawing this one. And if you want to draw this upside down, you can. If you don't want to draw it upside down, you don't have to. It's just that's the way I do it when I first start. And if I do this one again, I'll probably put the hair in a lot better. This one was kind of fun compared to some of the other ones I've done where I had to struggle more. I think if I'm struggling on anything on this one, it's probably the hair, which is the least thing I usually worry about. I need to fix that neck too. It's too far back. But I'm not terribly worried about it. I'll fix it on the next one I do. Or I'll fix it here after a few days. I just want to leave it setting. And that's something great artists have done before. They'll work on a work of art and then they'll just leave it setting for a few days or weeks. And then they'll go back and look at it and see what they need to change. And that makes a lot of sense. Not terrible. Does it look like the one on the top? Not completely. I think it looked more like it before I turned it over. Is it still okay? Yeah. And now I'm just struggling to get that hair in there just right. But I think part of my problem with that is the photocopy is so dark. I can't tell where the background stops and the hair starts. So I'll have to study the way that hair is. I'm just looking at it now. And I'm going to compare it to an earlier one I did. So here's the one I've done now. It's not too bad. It looks pretty real. And here's one I did earlier. And it's totally different. So I think I've gotten better at this. The one on the right is the newer one. The one on the left is it doesn't look anything like it. The newer one looks much better. I'm getting better at it. And I think if you practice, you'll get better at drawing too. So you just have to practice. Have I got to look just like it? No. But it looks better.